Hey everybody, I'm going to be showing you guys a very cool skill. Sadly, I do not have my recorder. It's at home with my parents, but I will be showing you guys an equally as awesome and equally as useless skill. How to hacky sack. So hacky sacking for me is something that I really like to do because it's translated over from soccer, but it's also just a super fun thing or skill to have because you can whip it out at any point, like waiting in line or like just sitting at a park. It's something that is fun to do with friends instead of everybody just awkwardly kind of sitting on their phones. Like, it's a way to connect with people and other people that you haven't really met before. Like, it's something to do, like, I bring it out to concerts and random people will join in, and it's just a super fun way to connect with other people. And also, middle-aged people who went to college in the 90s will give you a lot of compliments too. So it feels pretty good for people to be like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen somebody pull that out since I was in college. And then you're like, yeah, come play. And then that's a fun invite to bring people and to do something with you. So something else about a hacky sack is it is transportable. I always carry one in my purse so I can bring it out at any moment. So before I talk to you guys about how to play hacky sack and the skill I'm going to show you, how to stall, I'm going to show you the different kinds of hacky sacks here, so the different mediums we have. So I have four that I'm going to show you guys today and talk about. First one, here's the knitted hacky sack, knitted crocheted sack. This one's pretty typical, has plastic beads in it. This one has a lot of pop in it, and it's very filled. They're usually pretty full, and it'll roll a lot, and it's kind of more like a little ball, like a tennis ball, so that's going to make it really hard to stall. So today we are not going to be using that one for the purpose of this video. Next one I'm going to show you, this one's kind of like a dollar store hacky sack. It is synthetic beaded again, but it also has like synthetic material. It's a 4-paneled bag. This one is pretty lightweight, so it makes it kind of hard to stall. It's pretty bouncy too, so we also will not be using this one today. Also, hacky sacks have a lot of different kinds of materials in them, and they're also made with a lot of other materials. I had a friend who made a hacky sack out of beans and an old pair of shorts that he sewed together, so that was pretty cool. This is rip and dip hacky sack. This is 4-paneled. It is sand-filled, which sand-filled is my ideal hacky sack. But this material is pretty stiff, so it's like canvasy, so it kind of balls up and makes it pretty hard to play. So I also won't be using that today. This is the Jester, or the Sandmaster is the most ideal hacky sack, I'd say. I've taken this with me a lot of places. I also talked about it in class, so yeah, you know that it's true that I like hacky sacking. This one is 12-paneled, and it's also sand-filled, and it's pretty, like, the drop is pretty good. It's weighted pretty well. Yeah, so another thing about hacky sacking that you want to know is footwear. So I am wearing my Ultras, and these have a pretty wide toe box, so I can really... What stalling is softening the impact of the hacky sack on any surface of your body, which is another fun part about hacky sack, is you can play with like any surface of your body except for your hands. Another thing that translates from soccer. So stalling a hacky sack is softening the impact here. So I like having the wide toe box here and the wide piece of fabric, pretty gentle piece of fabric is really good at catching the hacky sack. It's a little nest. A lot of people like to use Vans, but another thing that some hacky sack purists don't like is when people play barefoot, which is actually, you can also bring in some other skills like toe grabbing. Oh, look at that, left-footed. Yeah, but today I'm going to be showing you guys with my shoes on, just for the purpose of stalling. So you can play hacky sack in a group. in a circle with friends or just solo. I like to practice it solo because I like to juggle, like I like to have, like with soccer. But the goal of hacky sacking is to have fun, but there are rules and hacky sack etiquette. So when you're playing with friends, number one rule, cardinal rule of hacky sacking is if you're in a circle, never serve it to yourself first. So the goal, what a hack is when everyone in the circle has touched the hacky sack with some piece of their body, knee, foot, chest, foot, anything, as long as it's not their hands, and everyone in the circle touches it without it hitting the ground. So when you're in a circle with friends, you want to serve it to someone else, and then my friend Steve, who would be here, would pass it over to me, and then if I hit it after him, that would be a hack. And it is also dependent on the amount of people in your circle, and this is also activity, hobby, sport, best played outside. But today it is pretty it is not ideal weather, rainy, sad, droopy, so I am demonstrating in my living room. But that is another bonus to hacky sacking, is you have a lot less damage possibility in your home. So my mom, who is not here, wouldn't get mad at me if I hit this at the window, which would be very different with a soccer ball. So I'm going to show you guys how to stall. So with hacky sacking, you kind of want to start off with your balance. So you're going to have a lot of movement like this. So you want to get some mobility and flexibility in there. So starting off with some like hip opening the gates exercises to like get some mobility in there, some jumping jacks. But yeah, once you're all warmed up for hacky sacking, then you can start with a good place to start is with balance and stability. So bringing one leg up and back down, and just seeing where you're at with that, and seeing where you could work on it. So for me, I am a soccer player, so I'm normally right-footed. So for me, I need to practice more with my left foot. So just bringing it up and down and seeing if you can not touch your toe to the ground when you're bringing it up, and just seeing where you're at with your balance. And if you feel good about your balance, you can move on to start playing with the hacky sack. So we're going to start by doing that same balance drill, putting the hacky sack on our toe, bringing up and back down, and just seeing what that feels like and playing around with it, testing it out side to side, just seeing what that balance feels like and seeing what that hacky sack feels like on your foot. So we're going to try it on both legs. I need to practice with my left foot. And then once you feel good about that, you can start by kicking the hacky sack up in the air a little bit, and then bring it back down on your foot. And just practicing that until you feel like you're ready to maybe go to some bigger jumps. Yeah. Yeah, so something with hacky sacking is it takes a lot of practice, and it's kind of like once you get over that first hump of it being pretty difficult and figuring out your foot-eye coordination, and all of the personal aspects to you that you think you need to work on, whether that be balance, stability, coordination, yeah, just kind of play around with it, see what you need to work on. But once you get over that first initial hump of figuring out the basic skills of hacky sacking, then you can it becomes a lot easier once you've mastered that first initial skill of like balance and figuring out where the hacky sack needs to go. And then you can kind of play around with it and move on to juggling with your knees, your feet, inside of your foot, different kinds of kicks until you have mastered the hacky sack.